This is your Barbados Today Evening News Update for Thursday, September 13. So glad you can join us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Murder accused 24-year-old Dave Fidel Aristide James and 34-year-old Verena Isilma Vasilka Cuffey were today remanded to HMP Dodds until October 11. The two of Wavell Gardens, Black Rock, St. Michael, who appeared before Magistrate Christy Cuffey Sargent, are charged with the September 7 murder of fish vendor Stephen Morley Small. They were not required to plead to the indictable charge. James was also charged with a number of traffic offenses, while Cuffey is accused of 2 drug offenses. It was an emotional day for the victim's family and friends. They told reporters in the courtyard that a good man was gone.
My brother didn't deserve this. My brother don't deserve that. My brother didn't deserve that. My brother was too sweet. My brother was too sweet for one man. You could have asked my brother for anything. He would have given you it. If you'd have come and begged my brother, he would have given it if it was only the last thing that my brother had. My brother was kind, loving, and very understanding.
As his sister said, he's a gem. Unlike me, he's the only person in the market that, like, when persons come and they don't have money that they can get the purchase. I even saw Molly the same day before he died. He said to a man, the man had short money, and he said he don't like to owe people. Molly said, well, you're going to owe me today because I ain't keeping this fish in my box. A gentleman. There's not one person that I can identify in this Barbados that have a heart like Molly.
It was all a big mistake. That's how prominent attorney Ralph Thorne QC is describing recent U.S. media reports claiming that 2 Barbadian men were charged with drug trafficking in Florida last Saturday. Dyson Benskin and Calvin Brathwaite were detained in connection with a mid-drug bus at the Hyatt Place Hotel. It was reported that hotel staff complained of a strong odor coming from the men's room and summoned police. The officer subsequently found nearly 100 pounds of marijuana. U.S. media outlets reported that the 2 men faced the drug trafficking charges, but Thorne said that was not the case, and both men returned to Barbados on Tuesday.
They happened to be in a room that was adjoining another room in which the contraband was located. Really a terrible coincidence and a terrible error, if one wants to put it like that. The error being that they were detained because they happened to be in a room next door to a room that contained cannabis, I believe. My information is that other persons were detained. They don't know what has happened to those other persons. It is believed that those other persons are Americans. I don't know. They don't know. They don't know for sure. But they have been released and they returned to Barbados on Tuesday.
5 people suffered minor injuries when a transport board bus driven by Agai Bailey struck a house owned by 61-year-old Yvette Boyce of Lion Castle, St. Thomas, around 7:05 this morning. 53-year-old Bailey of number 116 East Warrens Terrace, St. Thomas, was traveling from Bridgetown to the Sturgis route along Lion Castle Road when he lost control of the bus. Bailey, Boyce, and 3 people who were passengers on the bus suffered non-life-threatening injuries. They all opted to seek private medical attention. The bus was extensively damaged to the front, while there was structural damage to the house. Police are continuing their investigations. Cruise tourism is one of the fastest growing elements of the worldwide tourism industry, with some 27 million people expected to take cruises in 2018 and 112 new ships scheduled to come on stream within the next 10 years. This week, Barbadian stakeholders in the sector are attending a 2-day workshop at the Radisson Aquatica Hotel being hosted by the Aquila Center for Cruise Excellence, a Canada-based firm, which is now the official training arm of the Florida Caribbean Cruise Association. International Business Development Manager with Aquila, Claudia Pohl, stated that there were 4 major players within the industry, with several cruise lines under their umbrellas, and so far Barbados had done well by not relying exclusively on any one corporation. To illustrate her point, she cited the example of a South American country that lost a significant portion of its cruise business after an unpleasant visitor experience there with a passenger on one of the lines that fell under the biggest player of all, Carnival Corporation.
We had a taxi driver who took a guest from a Holland America ship to a cemetery. This man wanted to go look at the cemetery in this town. The man went, and the taxi driver was waiting outside, and what happened? Somebody tried to mug the man didn't give him the wallet, and the man got shot. Now the man died. What do you think happened? You know what happened? That destination lost all the ships from that location. And they highly depended on Carnival Corporation. They were their number one.
She added that while it was good to have a number of mega ships carrying thousands of passengers visiting our shores, we should consider reaching out to the millennials who travel on smaller vessels and sought a more authentic, community-based experience of the country.
The millennials are starting to, instead of going on the big ships, they're starting to go in the small niche market because they want those tiny, authentic experiences. They don't want to be part of something huge. They want to be part of something intimate. So that's something good to keep our eye on, because that's a market that if we target correctly, we can get to them before other people do.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
BIT's Central Bank Meets Blockchain Conference is the only conference in the world that brings together regulators, governments, and private entities to discuss how they might work together using blockchain to make a positive impact on the lives of the people in the Caribbean.
We are so proud to host this forum, which allows for constructive dialogue and engagement because it recognizes the transformative potential of distributed ledger technology and the work that BIT is doing in the region.
Blockchain technology has the power to address the demand for easier and real-time KYC solutions while improving overall KYC standards. With the advent of digital currency, these AML solutions can strengthen compliance like never before.
We have an excellent lineup of speakers, including our keynote speaker, the Honorable Mia Mottley, Prime Minister of Barbados, the Honorable Alden McLaughlin, Premier of the Cayman Islands, Dr. Jack Meaning, economist from the Bank of England, Therese Turner-Jones, the General Manager for the Caribbean Division of the IDB, and many more noteworthy speakers who you don't want to miss.
The Inter-American Development Bank supports this event and is our platinum sponsor. We're so grateful to them for their support and acknowledgement of our work.
We hope you can join us on September the 18th, 2018 at the Hilton Barbados Resort to hear what leaders in the region and in the blockchain space have to say about the role of blockchain technology in promoting social inclusion, financial empowerment, and economic growth for this and future generations. See you there.
To regional news now, Trinidad and Tobago's opposition leader Kamla Persad-Bissessar provoked a firestorm after she referred to Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley as an Oreo. Some say the comment is racist, but Trinidadians on the street say it's much ado about nothing.
I don't think so, because he just called all other names also. So a name like Oreo, that's still nice. At least it's a biscuit everybody know, everybody love. So that means she love him, like Oreo biscuit.
I don't think it has anything to do with race there.
Well, you know, in politics, you have to know to take talk, you know, because he does well damn give, eh? He does give talk. So he's supposed to know to take a little bit. Oh, really, nothing bad. It's a sweet biscuit.
On the international scene, the outer bands of Hurricane Florence lashed at the Carolinas with wind and rain today, flooding roads and overflowing rivers in an ominous prelude of the damage the huge storm could inflict when it makes landfall on Friday with millions of people in its path. More in this report from Reuters Television.
The Category 2 hurricane could cause catastrophic flooding with winds that could top 80 miles per hour.
This slow-moving, very large hurricane will bring a long-term extreme rain, storm surge, and hurricane-force wind threat to eastern North Carolina and South Carolina.
The coastal city of Wilmington, North Carolina, already feeling the storm's approach. Reuters correspondent Ernie Scheider is there.
You can see the Cape Fear River right over my shoulder here, where the water is slowly rising and moving quite fast. It's expected to experience a giant storm surge once Florence hits North Carolina dead on.
Florence's expanse even captured the attention of astronauts aboard the International Space Station, who tweeted these photos. As the hurricane creeps closer, officials have ordered more than 1 million people to evacuate the coasts of the Carolinas and Virginia, and thousands have been moved to emergency shelters.
Many of Wilmington's small businesses have already boarded up their locations, but several still remain open. Waffle House, which has a point of pride of never closing, says it will continue to serve Wilmington no matter what Florence brings to the city. I ran into several people walking their dogs, just taking in the sights, and even getting in that last bit of sunshine peeking through the clouds.
And that's the news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good evening.